Today I want to speak about codependency and anxiety. After you merge with that person and you are not in your body anymore, you just disconnected from yourself. It's becoming to be the center. You are actually living yourself just to live inside of him. I want to talk about this moment that he goes away, is living his life, and you feel this anxiety because you left yourself. Anxiety takes away your freedom and your life and your partner's life. Anxiety takes the life of everyone around you because she tells you stories about yourself. Because you are in the mind, you are disconnected from your body. And she tells you stories about yourself, stories of pain, about victimizing. Nobody sees me, I'm nothing, I'm not existing. If that man or that person is not giving me that assurance. Anxiety is like a ringing bell that calls you to come back to yourself. You just left your inside child and there's no one home. There's no light in that house. You just disconnected from yourself. So your anxiety is actually telling you that your confidence is external, is not coming from the inside. You need reassurance from a person, from someone outside of yourself that will tell you that you are worthy of living, worthy of love. So anxiety is this little voice that always calling you to come back home, to come back to yourself. It's this little bell that's telling you, hello, come back. You just lost yourself. To turn on the light in that darkness and to see in that darkness, how can I see and work and be with my shadows now so I can bring this golden light? Because in every shadow there is a divine light. How can I bring this divine light out of my shadow? Anxiety does not work good with freedom. And love is freedom. You are actually not loving that person and not loving yourself. Because love is freedom. You need to give a person a space to develop. You cannot take this role of God, and try to manipulate and control people that you love. Because you can handle rejection, because you can handle things in reality that are going wrong. Learn how to deal with your mind, with your thoughts, and with your controlling issue. Because you're trying to control. You're trying to control the reality because you cannot deal with the consequences of things that they are not in alignment of what you wanted them to be. You're trying to control all the reaction and what he will do and when he will come. If you're not going to stop that, this person will suffocate in your relationship from your anxiety. When you're losing yourself to a relationship, anxiety comes and brings you back home. Anxiety is a gatekeeper of your soul that will alert you in every situation that something is wrong. Most of the time, we are perceiving this reality according to our pain buttons. And there's no actually connection between those buttons and reality. We are choosing the worst possibility in terms of the situation. In the reality, the guy could have millions of reasons why he could not see you, right? But your mind is choosing the worst possibility that tells you that he doesn't want you. Anxiety enters and tells you, pay attention. Pay attention to that story of your mind now. Pay attention to your amygdala, in your brain that tells you these stories and brings you to the same station in that train that you're not going anywhere. Usually it's happening to women because man has this ability, natural ability, to cut themselves from this energetic oneness. But a woman, she's having difficulty to do it if she have a wounded perspective, terrible childhood, and she's suffering from PTSD. Men in that situation are more realistic. They can fall in love, but they know most of the time, they know how to separate between the fantasy and the real world. They know how to separate themselves, you know, their energy. They know how to look at that relationship and understand the reality and the fantasy. And women often, if they do have a tendency for codependency, they don't know how to distinguish between those two. Most of the time, they're having this kind of dissociation and mixed feelings between fantasy and the real world. Fantasy and reality, what is real, what is not real, what is illusion, and what is true. It's unrealistic to constantly want to be united with a person, to constantly be in a glue spiritual situation with that person. It's happened usually in the sex. In the sex, when it's a good sex and when she really, you know, she's starting to develop some emotions there, the woman is experiencing this oneness, this emerging with that soul of the man that takes her to a higher level. She's in the spirit now, okay? She's not in the matter. She's not in that world. She doesn't want to go back. You are going in that spiral very, 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 very high. And then after it's finished, you know, the man has this natural ability, natural mechanism of going back to his body and stay in his body, is separating himself from you. And he goes back to take a shower, right? And in that moment, he is he. But you're not you. You just went with him to the bathroom to take a shower, even though your body is still in that bed, because you are actually mixing your energy with that person and you are not in your body anymore. You are with him. You are him, but he is not you. He disconnected himself from you and you are him. Sometimes women that have this codependency, when I ask them why you don't want to go back to your energy, to your body, they say, I am afraid that if I will separate my energy from him, all the magic will fade away, or he will feel that I don't want him anymore. When we fall in love, especially when we have these cocktails in our brain, dopamine, serotonin, you know, we experience bliss. It's like divine bliss. It's a spiritual, ecstatic state of oneness with that person. It's in that moment that your spirit is actually takes over you and you're not coming back to yourself. In a healthy relationship, after this connection, the two people comes back and separate themselves from each other and get connected again and separate themselves and get connected again and separate himself, right? You're going back to yourself, he's going back to himself. When you stay all the time connected to that person, you're not on your Wi-Fi. You are on his Wi-Fi because you're disconnected from your Wi-Fi. Imagine that your soul is a Wi-Fi. Okay, and in order to be in a good spiritual and emotional state, you need to get in touch, right, and connected to your Wi-Fi, to your soul up there. But in that In that relationship, when you are developing this codependency, you are not connected to your Wi-Fi anymore. You are connected to his Wi-Fi. There's no development within because you left yourself. And then he's leaving you and you're crying. So why are you crying? He's leaving you because you are not yourself. You left yourself. He doesn't want to be with himself in a relationship. He wants to be with you, but there's no one home. You just left yourself. So who wants to be with a person that is not inside of him, is not living inside of him? So when you're living yourself, you're basically violating your inner balance. There is imbalance between matter and spirit. You are not in the matter. You're not in this world. You are not experiencing your body. You are already diminished in the spirit world, or floating in this limbo space, without time, without space, and without material. It's so sweet for the soul because it reminds us this unlimited bliss and light which we came from when we were connected to that source of light. This is why God gives us this mechanism of falling in love, to remind us this divine sweetness, light. It's a natural state for a soul. But I want to remind you that you are living in a matter world, in a three-dimensional world. So you're not a spirit anymore. You are inside of a body. Don't forget that we came into this world to a journey, to experience separation within this fusion of souls, and to discover ourselves, to know ourselves, to know yourself as an individual. You have kids, you have life, you have job, you have things. You cannot stay there. This mechanism is a getaway from reality. It could be dissociation. It's like every time reality, and take a note of that, just observe. Every time reality turns to be hard for you, boring, too much to handle, you're having this dissociation, right? You are disconnecting from reality. And if I disappear in this togetherness into a falling in love situation, there will be no one to remain in my body. And you are losing yourself just to find yourself back. So my inside child is scared because she's alone. She's left alone. No one is at home. She pulls that string of anxiety to call you back home. And she reacts in a very dramatic way when you leave her alone. She can be brutal. She can be angry, punish that person if he left her. She can do things that the grown-up person, will be very ashamed of. What? Did I do that? Did I say that? Did I lost control like this? Yes, because there was no one home. So the child took control. And did you ever saw a child trying to defend himself? Doesn't have any capability of doing it right. He doesn't have any tools. Actually destroying your relationship because that child, that inner child, took control, and now she is running the show. She will go for any strategy, right? Any manipulative way, because she's a girl, okay? She's not a woman. She doesn't like that guy. In her perspective, in her point of view, that guy just took you away from her. So she doesn't like him, right? She wants you back. She will do anything to get you back. So, how do I go back? How do I come back to myself? So I'm going to give you a tool to help you to come back to yourself, to your body, to this three-dimensional world right after the sex. It's very important you do that if you don't want to emerge with him, if you don't want to lose yourself. Okay, we just had sex. It was amazing. I felt this ecstatic connection. I'm not inside my body. He doesn't have to know about it. It's a moment that you are taking to yourself. You just close your eyes. He can be next to you. You take a deep breath and you see all this energy of you that went away in that ecstatic stage. You see that energy coming back to you. You see it, okay, coming back to you from his body, from your up chakra, the 7th chakra. You just see this energy coming back to you, coming back to you, coming back to you. You see the inner child inside of you. You ask her, are you okay? I'm home, I'm here. And when she answers you, you know that you are back. You know that you are back. So you take that deep breath and you make sure that you are connected to your body again. And then, you can open your eyes and cuddle with him and have this beautiful hug, but you are inside your body and he's inside his body, and the separation is okay. Now, if he goes away to his day, to his work, whatever, you don't feel this anxiety anymore because you are inside your body. You have to do that again and again and again. So each of us is supposed to be separated, to organize himself within himself, the atom, the subconscious, the energy, the thoughts, the emotions, and renew himself and charge himself and come back to this relationship. This separation and connection, separation and connection. Dealing with emotions, once you are present and when you're not present, it's a whole different story, okay? When you're not present inside of your body, your brain activate these emotions because he's telling you a story. You experience those feeling very hard and you just want to run away from them and do something that will ease the pain, right? You are connected to yourself, and this wave of emotion is coming, for example, missing somebody or experiencing pain. So you understand that this is a wave, and this wave is just a wave. It will go as it comes. When I am present, I can deal with that feeling and not be afraid of it and not run away from it just to do something, I stay inside. I'm allowing myself feeling this emotion, even if it's very painful. And just by that experience of letting myself feel it completely, I heal it. I am giving myself a healing. Contain it. I am a container for my feelings. This love is here, is realistic and possible when you are connected to yourself, when you are in your body, when you are in the matter. When you are inside of yourself, try to experience joy, happiness. This joy is not coming out of being with that person. It's an eternal joy. It's coming from the inside, and try to experience it. What does it mean to experience joy inside of my body? We just had an amazing sex together, and I want to feel and experience that bliss, joyful happiness that my body is celebrating from those particles of your energy. So your body wants that separation to digest all this emotional experience. Passion is a great force and source of energy. It's a force that drives us doing an amazing things and develop our souls and our bodies and our spirits to crave something, to want something so hard and not to get it. This is hell. You are stuck in your own hell, because hell and heaven is inside of us. There's nothing out there. Angels and demons are inside of us. There's nothing out there. We have all the creation inside of us. So when you experience hell, it's usually when you are craving to something and you just cannot have it. And what if you could just experience joy inside of you without craving for the joy from outside source, from a person, from a situation? This is heaven, right? So learn how to bring heaven inside of you, how to work alone with yourself, just to bring that light, just to bring that happiness, just to bring that joy inside of you. I don't need nobody that will make me happy. I don't need you to affirm that I'm worthy of love. I don't need you to tell me how much I'm beautiful, how much I'm amazing. I don't need your words, right? I need your actions, not your words. But what I need right now is myself. I want to love myself. I want to love myself enough to know how to be happy without nothing from the outside. How to be still. How to connect my root. How to know who I am from the inside. Not my mask, not my persona. Who am I as a soul in this body? Because when I go outside of myself, I am in that drama of existence. I am losing control. I'm losing a grip of myself. There's no problem with a little bit of theater in your life, right? There's no problem with a little bit of drama. But when it becomes to be the issue of your life, you are not in your center. You are not in your center. And the anxiety brings you back to yourself. So the force I need to activate from within is the force of matter inside of me, is the force of ground. Because the force of desire is a spirit force. It's a desire to merge with someone. It's a desire to eat from that tree of knowledge. I want to take something from outside of myself that will bring me ease, that will bring me joy, that will bring me something that I crave, right? But the tree of life, that fruit of the tree of life, is growing inside of us. And we have all the knowledge in the world. We have all the creation inside of us. And we can be in love with ourselves and with God inside of us. We have everything we need inside of us. There's no people. All the people are only messengers and teachers and lights and mirrors. They are supposed to teach us some lessons according to the spiritual development in this three-dimensional world. You understand that you're not looking at the person that did wrong with you, that hurt your feelings, in a personal way of looking, okay? It's not James, it's not Richard. It's just an actor that your soul picked to give you that lesson. And you, the both of you, have signed on a contract because his soul really loves you very much, very much. So that's why he's bringing you that hard, dramatic lesson to your life, because his soul loves you very much. So you always have to remember that, not go into that personal story that we have in our mind, because this thing is not a personal story. This is a soul development. This person is a messenger of your soul, is a messenger of God. It's God standing in front of you. So what does he want to teach you? What is the gift that he's giving you? He only came to practice with you those lessons that your soul has already determined that you want to learn. And if he goes away, it means that the lesson is over, and someone else will come and continue from that same spot that he left. So I want you to take a deep breath now. And just be inside your body for a minute. Just feel the lungs, just feel the belly, just feel your legs. Feel that you are connected to yourself, that you're inside of your body and you're not running away to your mind and disconnecting. And in that experience inside of your body, I want you to try to imagine a shape of joy. What is it? A joy inside of you. How does it look like? How do you experience it? Where in your body the joy lives? So just stay a minute with that joy. Let it come from the inside and just, wash everything on his way. Yeah, take that beautiful smile. Smile from your heart. Yes, exactly. Exactly. This smile is coming from your heart. And it doesn't need nobody from the outside, from the external world, to feel like that. So just smile from the inside. Okay, that's it for today. I'm very happy to be with you. Take good care and big hug for you. Bye-bye.